Good evening and welcome to the Holy Spirit's Blog Talk Radio Show. I'm your host, Minister G.L. Hart, and I thank you all for tuning in. Tonight's show is a health show, and as we always say, we try to do a health show at least once every week on the Holy Spirit's Blog Talk Radio Show. In tonight's show, we're going to look at two different subjects. First, we're going to look at eight important nutritions to boost your health, but also 10 foods that makes you look older. So amazing that we are what we eat, as they say, you are what you eat. And the fact that so many people are trying to diet and or trying to eat healthier foods, and sometimes those foods may not be as healthy as you may think they are. There's so many different types of weight loss, sugar-free, if you will, fat-free, and all these different substitutions. But you gotta be mindful of the fact that when you're taking something out of the natural, then surely you have to add a chemical to replace that natural ingredient for whatever it is. It could be a salad dressing. It could be sugar. But just keep in mind that when you're substituting something, buyers beware. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment, and it's going to be interesting, man. Some interesting things and alarming things that I found out about certain types of food that makes you look older. And so for those of you who are maybe in your early 20s and 30s or 40s, you really want to be mindful, and it's going to be interesting to say the least. Again, you guys can follow us on the Holy Spirit Blog Talk Radio Show if you go to www.blogtalkradio.com and / Holy Spirits, and it's spelled with a Z. You can go there and you can follow us. And there's hundreds of shows to really go back in the archives and look at. But from there, when you follow us, you will be able to get every live show that we do, episode that we do. You'll get that in real time and via email. So we ask you to follow us on Blog Talk Radio, and we certainly thank you. And also for those who have their own business or work for a company that you want to promote, you can do so by going to our website page at www.holyspiritsradio.com, and you can go to the contact page. And if you want to advertise on this show, we have a wonderful 6-month special we're running right now. And if you go to the contact page and email us, we will certainly give you all the information, and we will send you the contracts, and we can move forward and really promoting your business and or your company's business. And we thank you guys again for being in tune. And also, you can check us out on Inspiring Truths on our Facebook page and find out what's been going on and catch up on the latest shows, as well as we have a new ministry we started a couple of weeks ago, the By His Blood Ministries, and we will be doing a live service on Saturday at 6 p.m. I'm sorry, Saturdays at 7 p.m. each Saturday at 7 p.m. and then on Sunday morning at 7:45 a.m. and then Sunday evening around 6 p.m. So we thank you guys for checking that out as well, and we will have a word for you tomorrow, certainly at our 6 p.m. Saturday service tomorrow evening. And also, finally, don't forget our Nehemiah Project. We've just launched that. We're so excited about the Nehemiah Project. There's much to be done. And also, you can go to the website, the holyspiritsradio.com website, and you can go to the Gifts from the Heart page and give generously a donation of any kind to that project. And as well, if you'd like to be a sponsor of the Nehemiah Project, surely we would be glad to contact you and have you be a sponsor. And everywhere we go throughout this entire summer, your company or your business will be on all display of all our flyers, our banners, our posters, and we will surely be so ever grateful for your contribution of any kind. And again, we thank you so much for that. And finally, we want to remind you guys on this Sunday, we're doing a special edition of the Holy Spirit's Blog Talk Radio Show, where we will have our wonderful guest, Miss Jacqueline Allen, wonderful life coach, health nutritionist. She's also an author, among many things, and she's written a book, and she's co-written a book, that is, called Balance for Busy Moms. And what's so awesome, and I love when people step out on faith, because what has happened from this book, this manifestation of this book that Jacqueline and her co-author has put together, people, is the fact that they have created a program, a organization called Balance for Busy Moms. And on this site, they have all types of psychologists, all types of experts that women can join this organization and get free health information, free any type of counseling they may need for their children, tips on cooking and preparing nutritious food. What an awesome thing this is. And all from a thought. So this is so exciting that, I can't wait till this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Jacqueline Allen is going to come on here, and she's going to give us a wonderful testimony of her raising her 4 kids and the challenges as a mom, what she had to go through in trying to balance school, marriage, children, her business, along with other things as well in between. So what an awesome and dynamic woman we'll be speaking with this Sunday on our show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we thank you guys for tuning in. Dealing with tonight's episode about you are what you eat, I want to give a testimony, if I may, about some things dealing with myself. As you all know, that I'm on the help binge myself, and though I'm not there yet, I'm so excited and I'm so blessed. I can tell you this for sure, that the transformation that I've made in this past 2 years have been remarkable, to say the least. I mean, I used to eat all kinds of fatty foods, drink soda, alcohol on a daily basis, whether it be beer, liquor, you name it. Greasy foods, fatty foods, foods with tons of cheese in it, all types of chemicals in my food, GMO. Didn't care what it was. If it tastes good, it was in my mouth. And yet my health was failing. When I was 44 years old, knees are aching, joints are aching. I thought I had arthritis at 44 years of age. And all the while I'm thinking it's because of my age. And I look back on some photos I took, and I even looked older. And I can tell you, I remember my mother a couple of years ago, and here I am at 6'2", about 240 something pounds, and your mother sees you for the first time, and the first word out of her mouth is, "Baby, you don't look good." Because I thought I looked good. And what an embarrassing thing that was, because she didn't say it out of, to embarrass me. She said it out of concern for my health. Because the salt intake I was taking, I looked like a fat pig. Inflammation everywhere. All kind of toxins in my body. All the extra fat from what I was eating. All the extra toxins I was carrying, maybe 5 to 7 pounds of extra fat. Or toxins, I keep saying fat, but toxins, waste, just sitting there in my belly, You would have thought I was 6 months pregnant. Felt horrible. Even the days I wouldn't drink, I still feel horrible. It's amazing. I eat fried foods 8 times a week. And that tells you I eat it sometimes 2, 3 times a day. Fried food was my apple. And you couldn't tell me anything. I was addicted to caffeine and beer. Water was I mean, it was beer and there was water in the caffeine and water in the beer. So that was my water. That was my diet. My diet was alcohol and beer. And I'm so thankful for the wonderful women who came into my life. And it took them a year, people. Because especially with men, and this is mainly why I do this show, is because of men. Because men are so stubborn. Extremely stubborn. And when you try to tell a man he's unhealthy or what have you, he ain't trying to hear it. Let's be honest. He's not trying to hear it. And he doesn't even care for the most part. And there I was, a stubborn 44-year-old man, having these women tell me, "Oh, look at you, what are you eating?" And they began to read the ingredients of the food, the ingredients of the food I was eating. And hell, at first it didn't matter because I didn't know what it meant anyway. But then they would explain to me what it was. All these fancy names for sugar and fat and salt and more sugar and more fat. And some things had pork in it that didn't make any sense. I mean, hell, they put pork in anything. I'm like, why is pork in this? So amazing. But I tell you something, when you surround yourselves by positive energy, then you're bound to begin to absorb what you're hearing. I know I'm going to jump off subject for 1 second. That's why the Bible says faith comes by hearing the word. So there I was hearing a word about my life and about my health from a wonderful woman. Wonderful, true friend to this day, who God sent to save me, because literally she saved me. And then I began to take better care of myself and start eliminating the fried foods. Didn't happen overnight, because I would cheat here and there, but it was so amazing because she would approach me and ask me, "When was the last time you had some chicken? Or when the last time you had some, fried foods or whatever?" And I would have to confess. And she didn't beat me over the head about going back to my old ways. She understood, but then she walked me through this thing, and gradually it became a part of who I am, and what a joy that is. And I tell you one thing, she did approach me with was a Juice Plus, and these are nutrients that I've been taking for 2 years now. And such a wonderful thing, because when you began to learn about health and learn about the difference between vitamins and nutrients and all these things, because at one time I was taking one a day vitamin, one a day min, and all these different things, and believing I was doing something healthy for myself. In reality, those things really didn't help me because they didn't have the true nutrients and the true the amounts of nutrients in them that they were pertaining to be, because a vitamin is half a nutrient and half a chemical, and that's the difference. And then there were multitudes of researchers. And again, people, study to show yourself approved. All the stuff I'm telling you, I researched it first. I'm not selling you a pitch or giving you a pitch to something. These are what I took the time to research for myself. But doing this, I found out that so many of these companies that sell these men vitamins and whatnot, they don't even have half the nutrients in them. The other half is chemicals. And when it was tested, there was some tests done some years ago, well, not some years ago, 3 years ago, on these vitamins. And I want to call them out. And what happened was the people who took them got sicker. They got sicker the more they took these vitamins because they weren't doing anything in the first place. When they were saying vitamin B12 and all this, yeah, that's what those nutrients that they got should have been given them. But when they sliced it in half and put in their own chemical to just give you enough to keep you reordering these things, then only people began to get sick off of taking multivitamins and all these different vitamins that were supposed to be so healthy and they look so wonderful on these commercials. So you got to be mindful in research. But here I was taking this Juice Plus with chronic illness, irregular heartbeat, inflammation, joint pains, everything you can think of at an early age of 44. But as I began to take these vitamins, these nutrients, and I started watching on YouTube all the information that I could absorb about this Juice Plus thing, because I want to know. You know, people tell you one thing, but you got to find it for yourself. And here I am looking at how these capsules are made and how they're put together, and all the nutrients that are coming from out of them, because these fruits and/or vegetables are freeze dried and placed in a capsule, so you lose nothing. And there I was some months later, forgetting about my sinus medication. Every year, I have to go and re-up on my sinus medication and my sinus shot, allergy, chronic. And here I was looking at June, and I started taking Juice Plus actually on my birthday in late January. And here I am in June. No, it was May or June. Yeah, May. I think when spring started, April or May. I'm realizing I haven't took a sinus. I haven't re-up on my sinus medication, nor have I even needed it. The proof's was in the pudding. And you're talking 30-something years of having to take sinus pills, allergies, migraine pills, and all the while I'm taking these nutrients and didn't realize what it was doing to me. I started losing weight, and at this time wasn't even exercising. So such an awesome thing. I just want to give you that testimony, and just to share with you people the fact that, you know, we are what we eat, and if we're putting in positive things in our bodies, but yet surround yourself with positive. Don't go out with people that eat buffets all the time. My God, find you some friends that care about their bodies, because the Bible tells you your body is your temple. It is your temple, not the church. People say, I gotta go to church. No, your body is your temple, because that's how God made you. So we have to be mindful of how we take care of our temple and what we're putting into these temples. So there was this article out of this magazine. It's called Healthy Digest magazine, and it talked about the fact that when we're eating and drinking the wrong things, it can cause aging in our bodies. And it talked about, you know to wear sunscreen and apply anti-aging creams, but what goes inside your body also plays a role in maintaining your youthful appearance. So here are here's about 10 beverages as well as foods that can add on aging a bit faster than expected in your life. And number one is salt. And I love this one because you got to remember, I was eating fried foods. And what's the main thing? Not just fried foods. I'll take that back. Fast fried foods. Man, if it was some fast food, I was on and popping. It got so bad one time that in 2007 to 2009, actually, I would get off work every night, and I would go to this local chicken place, and they knew my order. I mean, the line would be long, and they would know my order. They would tell me to drive around, and I knew, and I gave me, and the guy would run out with my order, and I give him the exact change. I mean, it's embarrassing, but it's true. For 2 years, they knew my order, and knew what time I was coming. It's amazing. So the number one thing that will help you age faster would be salt. This white stuff isn't the right stuff to keep wrinkles at bay. Getting more than the American Heart Association daily recommendation of 1,500 milligrams of sodium can lead to high blood pressure, which can weaken the skin of affecting collagens. And this is by a registered dietitian named Jen Brewer, and the author of Stop Dieting and Start Losing Weight. And that can cause wrinkles, especially in thin skin areas, like around your eyes, she adds. Salt also can puffiness by your eyes, by another medical doctor, Heidi Waldorf, a director of laser and cosmetic dermatology at Mount Sinai Medical Center in New York City. And there's nothing youthful about puffy peepers. A skin-friendlier way to flavor your food, use herbs. Is what this one doctor, she suggests to use herbs to flavor your food. And such amazing. The fact that I think it was 2 months ago, I went for a checkup. I think it was in January. And it's just amazing because they were so amazed of how my blood pressure and everything was so perfect. The woman said, "Wow, normally men your age come in with some type of, high cholesterol or high blood pressure, and yours is perfect, like a 20-year-old." And again, I'm telling you, it's because I begin to change the way I diet and the way I eat, and the things I was putting into my body. Major difference. You caught me back in 2007. That's all they kept saying is your blood pressure's high. And one time they thought about putting me on blood pressure pills. Thank God. Thank God he woke me up. Number 2 would be sugar. Steer clear off that candy jar. This is by dermatologist Doris J. Day, author of Forget the Facelift, says that sugar can overload what's called the insulin pathway that affects your blood vessels and accelerates skin's aging process. If you drop sugar, you'll see a difference within 1 week. That's amazing. And Dr. Day, the change clears skin and more vibrant skin tone. To satisfy a sweet tooth, turn to fruit. She recommends to turn to fruit since natural sugars are more complex. Your body processes them more slowly, avoiding the overload that ages the skin. So we're talking salt and sugar. Isn't it something? That's a 1-2 punch there for most people. Here's one that people are going to, I think people know this, but and there's been so many different disparities about coffee. Some people say, oh, it's good for you. Some people say it's bad for you. Whatever, but coffee, and this one is the ultimate pickup for packs of double dose of aging element. Coffee not only stains your teeth, replacing the pearly whites of your younger years, but also it dehydrates your body, causing skin to dry out and look less youthful, plump. Plus, wrinkles and eyes become more prominent when the body not properly hydrated. Again, Dr. Waldorf admits that coffee can be a necessity of a busy life. So if you're jonesing for a joke, be sure to moisturize properly, she advised, or consider drinking green tea. It's an excellent antioxidant and less dehydrating thanks to its lower caffeine content. Amazing. And I thank God that from time to time, I love coffee. I got to admit that. But I make sure I fast at least 3 or 4 times a year. I offer coffee at least for a 1 week or more. Your body has to be retuned. Nothing wrong with enjoying the pleasures of life, but we really have to be mindful of just excessive amounts of salt and sugar and coffee and those things. Number 4 is alcohol. This is going to be a doozy. Love your nightly red wine? That's what I know I do. And according to Dr. Day, booze pulls water out of your cells. This causes you to look puffy around the eyes, she said, which ultimately makes you look older. Another reason liquor can give you a licking, you may be tempted to reach your salty bar snacks, okay, like chips and pretzels while you're drinking. And you already know what salt can do. So counteract alcohol dehydration effects by drinking 1 extra glass of water above the 64 ounces of fluid you already should be consuming daily for every alcohol beverages. That's an awesome one because the fact that, especially when you go to certain bars, and I know a lot of country clubs, when you go to country clubs, I worked at several country clubs around the city. And one thing that they do is, while these men are playing golf, and or women, when they come back to the clubhouse, you have to make sure that there's plenty of popcorn and salted nuts, and of course pretzels as well to go along with the beer, the martinis, and the wine. Now, mind you, half of them are already old, but some of these men are retired, so they're there 3-4 times a week, snacking on these salty peanuts and these pretzels and whatnot, and popcorn while they're drinking their beers and their wine. So that's amazing. Number 5 is red meat. It's a staple of most American diets, but a recent study from Cleveland Clinic's Wellness Institute suggests that eating it more than once a week is linked to wrinkling as well as serious health risks. According to the research, a high level of carnitine, a compound abundant in animal protein, can harden blood vessels walls, causing skin to crease prematurely. And Dr. Day says that the red meat can be a source of vitamin B12, which is crucial for red blood cells and brain function. But seafood and many dairy products are also rich in vitamins. The bottom line, if you're a red meat lover, indulge on limited basis. So amazing, because I normally eat red meat maybe once or twice a year. I kind of, I've taken red meat out of my diet a few years ago. And it has helped me tremendously because again, the fried foods, the steaks, the pork chops, and all those things. But I would eat steaks on a daily basis, but I would certainly have it at least 5 to 7 times a month. Number 6 is simple carbs. Another way of aging you faster is simple carbs. Foods like white bread and pasta have a high glycemic index, which inflames skin and produces reactive oxygen species. Those break down collagen, which keeps skin strong, and elastin, which keeps skin supple, resulting in less vibrancy and plumpness. And when you're craving carbs, choose complex ones, like whole grains, recommended Dr. Day. And she explained that the body processes these foods more slowly than simple carbs. So there's no insulin spike to which skin would react. So pastas and white bread. 90 seconds. That's a good one too, because I used to love pasta. Oh man, Italian food is one of my favorites. And but I don't indulge in it as much as I used to. And again, people, it's just so amazing that when you began to eat healthy, even your thinking process changes automatically. Instantly it changes. It's amazing. Number 7 is spicy foods. It's amazing. I know this one. Hot peppers can be great for your metabolism, but bad for some people's skin. And Dr. Waldorf says spicy foods can dilate blood vessels in those who are resecate prone or going through menopause. Those capillaries make the skin look less clear and youthful, says Dr. Waldorf, according to the University of Maryland Medical Center. Avoiding spicy foods can keep you looking younger, but if you don't have a history of condition and aren't menopausing, the flush that spicy foods can bring on is likely to be mild and temporary. Another one is hot dogs and cold cuts. Wow. This is the summertime favorite, and spring is here now. And hot dogs are huge in the summertime with families with families and kids out of school, and especially around baseball stadiums and whatnot. But the sulfites that preserve these meats can age you. They're known to be pro-inflammatory, triggering rosacea and cause skin to look ruddy and sallow, says Dr. Day. Look for meats that don't contain sulfites and make sandwiches with tofu and legume for the protein punch without the aging element. Sodas, we know about the sodas. This fizzy drink isn't, and sodas is number 9, by the way. This fizzy drink isn't the kind your teeth or your skin says. Soda is highly acid and wears away tooth enamel, making teeth more susceptible to decay. A less than shiny smile can make your whole face look hagged. But that's not all. Brewer says that the soda high sodium levels age skin. In addition, soda drinkers may be dehydrated because they're more likely to reach for the sweet stuff than water, causing puffiness and dull skin. Skip both diet and regular sodas and opt for fruit-infused water when you want a flavored drink. Yeah, diet sodas, man, are so crucial. People don't understand how harmful they are. You know, it's amazing what diet sodas can do for you and the harm that they do to the body. Then number 10 is trans fat. These manufactured fats found in processed eats like fast food and margarine, make you look older because they clog arteries. This takes away elasticity from skin because water can't get through, says Brewer. But don't cut out fat entirely. Natural monosaturated fats like those in olive oil and coconut oil are rich in vitamin E, which helps stabilize cellular walls and protect against oxidation and free radicals that age skin, says Brewer. So you're talking about coconut oil and olive oil is a better fat than these trans fat, which ages your skin and with fast foods and margarine. And again, like I was telling you guys, I think the majority of all these things I was doing to myself: the salt, the sugar, the coffee, the alcohol, the red meat, the simple carbs. I mean, all these spicy foods and the hot dogs, the sodas, and the trans fat. And the trans fat, I was on top of the world. I was doing all this stuff, man. I was on fire. So amazing. And again, I'm so thankful to have moved on to better things and living a healthier life. So real quick, I'm going to talk about 8 important nutrients to boost your health. And I'm going to leave you at that. And such a wonderful thing, and one being protein. It's a crucial part of any diet. The average RDA for women is 45 grams, and for men, 55 grams, which you can easily consume in the form of beans, legumes, lentils, and peas, free-range eggs, raw milk, cheese, and yogurt, nuts and seeds, which benefits from soaking in water or sprouting first. Awesome. And non-berry nuts and seed milks. Another one is iron and zinc. One of the most common deficiencies in the world, iron is an important nutrient. It integrals to many bodily processes. It is especially essential for premenopausal and pregnant women who tend to have this deficiency. If you feel tired, low in injury, suffer from headaches or hair loss, a pale complexion, and weak nails, you could be suffering from iron deficiency. A strong, healthy blood requires proper amounts of iron. An average RDA for women is 19 to 50 years is 18 milligrams. Women 51 plus years is about 8 milligrams, and adult males is about 8 milligrams of iron. And 2 billion people may have a zinc deficiency. It is an essential mineral required by the body for maintaining a sense of smell, keeping a healthy immune system, building proteins, triggering enzymes, and creating DNA. Zinc also helps the cells in your body communicate by functioning as a neurotransmitter. A deficiency in zinc can lead to stunt growth, diarrhea, impetus, hair loss, eye and skin lesions, impaired appetite, and depressed immunity. Because the human body does not store zinc, it is essential to obtain it from foods you eat. and the RDA for adult women is 8 milligrams, and for men is about 11 milligrams. And what you can, and the types of food and zinc would be cocoa, oysters, wheat germ, green leafy vegetables, kale, collards, cabbage, spinach, and broccoli. Nuts, seeds, almonds, and cashews, beans, lentils, legume, peas, in cooked and sprouted form, fruits and dried fruits, apricots, dates, and raisins, date syrup, and molasses. Another one would be magnesium. Magnesium plays a more important role than calcium in the body. And if you reduce, it reduces your risk of cancer and controls the entry of calcium into each and every cell. A psychological event that occurs every time a nerve cell fires. And when it comes to building healthy bones, magnesium is as important as calcium as vitamin D. Without adequate magnesium, too much calcium gets inside the cell, and this causes cramping and constrictions in ways you may need doctors' assistance. Earlier dietary surveys showed that a large portion of adults do not meet even the RDA for magnesium, which is 320 milligrams a day for women and 420 milligrams per day for men, which is below the level necessary for optimal health, being 500 milligrams per day for both men and women. In green leafy vegetables, starches, grains, and nuts, and raw milk for magnesium. And for calcium, real quick, in a nutshell, your body needs calcium to maintain strong bones and teeth and your nerve system to function properly. And the RDA for adults is 1,000 milligrams to 1,200 milligrams and can be found in a variety of foods such as dark greens, broccoli, kale, Chinese cabbage, sea vegetables, wakame, arame, dulse, hajiki, and kelp, dairy products, milk, yogurt, and cheese. Iodine. Iodine is a mineral found mostly in seafoods, including seaweed, that helps the body synthesize hormones, including thyroid hormones. This important mineral has been slowly but steadily leaving our food stream. The chemical and fertilizers used in modern farming and chlorine added to water bind to iodine and prevent it from being utilized by our bodies. Iodine deficiency significantly affects the brain development of unborn babies and young children and is the main cause of preventable mental retardation and brain damage across the world. It also leads to underactive thyroid and may increase the risk of miscarriages and stillbirth, which could be a major problem given to the numbers of women suffering from this deficiency. Iodine deficiency is not only common in developing countries. Research has suggested that more than 2/3 of teenage girls and 15% of adult females in the U.S. have an iodine deficiency. But too much of it can be harmful, although the Women's Health Organization recommends 230 micrograms of iodine on a daily basis during pregnancy for normal fetal thyroid hormone production and neurocognitive development. 1,100 micrograms is considered to be safe upper limit for daily ingestion by the U.S. Institute of Medicine. And eggs, fish, seafood, and good sources. Vegans can go for seaweed, cranberries, organic strawberries, and Himalayan crystal salt. I need to get me some of that. I've heard about this Himalayan crystal salt. I need to get me some of that crystal salt. I've heard so much positive things about that. Another one would be vitamin B12. Is an important nutrient, especially for those following strict vegan lifestyle. It's required by your body to make new red blood cells and help keep your nerve system healthy. Without it, permanent damage can result. B12 also lower homocysteine levels, in which is great news since elevated homocysteine levels may cause heart disease and strokes. A deficiency leads to anemia, and its symptoms include tiredness, pale complexion, and breathlessness. It can also cause memory loss, confusion, mood swings, and depression. Wow. And vegans and vegetarians who do not eat eggs or dairy will need to take this essential nutrient in the form of B complex supplement that includes the RDA for B12 of 1.5 micrograms for adults. Shiitake Mushrooms, sea vegetables, algae contains something similar to B12, but it does not work in the body in the same way as B12 from animal sources. And some nutritional yeast food products contain some vitamin B12. Meat and eggs are some of the best sources, however. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, it may be essential to occasionally use a B12 patch or a high quality B12 supplement in your diet. And finally, essential fatty acids. Research says that eating more than omega-3 fatty acids makes one live longer. Wow. Look better and feel happier. A deficiency, on the other hand, can cause depression, mood swings, even aggressive behavior. And these fatty acids prevent heart disease and are good for your eyes, help you shed pounds, and keep your skin and hair in good condition. The body needs quality fats to help absorb the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K to regulate cholesterol, provide energy, maintain heart health, and a number of other important functions. And saturated fats from animal source is limited in vegetarian diet, but hydrogenated and trans fats in baked goods and chips should be avoided for the harmful health effects. And recommended RDA for omega fatty acid is 1 to 2 tablespoons. And some of the things to help with this fatty acid is extra virgin olive oil, sesame oil, raw butter and clarified butter, coconut oil, a saturated vegetable oil that has proven beneficial in diet, omega-3 oils, flax, hemp, and walnut oils. Such a wonderful, powerful thing that can help you really boost your health. And I'm so glad to be able to bring it to you and do it on a regular basis. It's such an awesome thing, man, to really be able to begin to educate people on their health. Listen, my time is up, and I thank you guys for tuning in for this broadcast. And again, if you like what you hear on this broadcast, please follow us, share this episode with someone concerning their health. And you can follow us on www.blogtalkradio.com/Holy Spirit. And Spirit is spelled with a Z. And follow us, and you can hear all the broadcasts that we're doing, and even in the archives. And as in parting, we always say to love yourselves, and to know yourselves, and to know yourselves comes by spending time with God. We thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace.